Welcome to Niger Delta Television News. I'm Janet Bobai-Renner. And up top stories, Bayelsa State Government sets up 5-man conflict resolution committee to wade into the Amasoma leadership crisis. Commissioner for Information, Orientation and Strategy charges journalists to upscale reportage of government activities in the state. Plus, federal government lauds Senator Doye Diri on sports development efforts. The Bayelsa State Government has set up a 5-man conflict resolution committee to look into the lingering communal leadership crisis in Amasoma community in southern Ijo local government area of the state. The committee was set up by the Deputy Governor, Senator Lawrence Rujakbo, in Government House, Yenagoa, over the weekend. The report.
The Bayelsa State Government is waded into the lingering leadership crisis in Amasoma by setting up a 5-man conflict resolution committee. The committee, which was constituted over the weekend by the Deputy Governor, Senator Lawrence Rujakbo, in a meeting with community leaders and stakeholders of Amasoma in Government House, is chaired by the Commissioner for Community Development, Mr. Watson Belemote, and mandated to holistically appraise the issues behind the emergence of a parallel community development committee and youth leadership in the community. The Deputy Governor, who commended the leadership of the community for their efforts in maintaining peace, stated that the existence of a parallel CDC youth leadership in Amasoma was a recipe for serious crisis in the community and therefore charged the committee to do its job to enable government to make informed decisions to resolve this issue amicably. The committee has the Honorable Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Mr. Briyai Dambo, Honorable Commissioner for Youth Development, Mr. Kamepade, and others as members. Tari Prido Ikidi, reporting for NDTV News.
Newly appointed Commissioner for Information, Orientation and Strategy, Honorable Mrs. Ebiowo Koku Obia, has charged journalists and media practitioners in Bayelsa to scale up the reports of government and other activities that will promote the state. The commissioner gave the charge in an extended meeting with media workers at the Information House in Yenagoa. Correspondent Joe Ifidi-Oka has the report.
Speaking at the meeting interaction with journalists and media practitioners in the state, the Information, Orientation and Strategy Commissioner, Honorable Ebiowo Kuku Obiai, decried the under-reportage of the state and tasked media workers to up their game to correcting the situation.
But we observe that our stories as a government, that we have been under-reporting our stories. And I said, I need to call all of you, let us look at the challenges that are making us not to take over the space, the media space. I want us to sit back, reason together, and we are open to receive advice, to take advice. And we believe that if we are working together and we improve on our relationship, the state can really get better.
While responding to questions asked by some journalists at the meeting, the commissioner emphasized on training and retraining as she urged the heads of parastatals under her ministry to initiate in-house training for staff to harness professionalism and maximize outputs, just as she disclosed the need for the state-owned television, NDTV, to be connected to satellite platforms such as StarTimes, DSTV, GoTV, and others.
And I want to believe, and I know that we have been doing trainings, but I've also encouraged people in the various departments that even weekly, you can come up with one topic and train. Talk to your staff. NDTV, this different parasana, initiate a training. We used to do that in the quality service training. We pick a topic, we teach.
She urged journalists to bring their professionalism to bear in the area of tackling the activities of quack social media practitioners who engage in cyberbullying under the guise of creating content, noting that training and retraining is key to becoming a practitioner in any given profession. Earlier, the meeting had provided opportunity for journalists to ask questions and make useful suggestions that will upscale publicity of the state.
As a union, yes, we had planned that we were going to also meet with you to discuss some of these things, but I'm happy that you are quite ahead of us in this instance, and that is so proud of you, Commissioner, and I appreciate you.
Because of the issue of power, that idea was jettisoned. Then you also look at the issue of incentive. It's also very, very, very important.
And so we want to urge you, ma'am, that you work with the conventional media, which I see you have already started doing from the day you assumed the office, not to commend you for that.
She called for a more robust relationship between the media and the government in order to promote democratic ideals that will bring information about the dividends of democracy to the doorstep of the people. The meeting, which was first of its kind since the assumption of office by the commissioner, had in attendance executive members of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, Radio, Television, Theatre Art Workers Union, the National Union of Printing, Publishing and Paper Product Workers, Nigeria Association of Women Journalists, and the Sports Writers Association.
Residents in the state have sued for equity in the distribution of the palliative received from the federal government. While speaking with NDTV News, they urged the state government to ensure that the 20-trailer load of grains received from the federal government are distributed fairly to the ordinary citizens of the state. Correspondent Naro Atembo has the details.
Following the hardship Nigerians are faced with as a result of the removal of fuel subsidy and other economy policy by the federal government, President Bola Tinubu has distributed 20-trailer load of grains to each state in the country, including the FCT, Abuja. It is on this premise that Mr. Waikoro Douglas and others expressed their worries over palliative distribution in the past, while urging the state government to distribute the grains to the people irrespective of party affiliation, as the hardship is biting so hard.
I will advise they take a serious minded set of people who know the plight of the poor people in Bayelsa and distribute the rice. And they should forget about party sentiment, because at the end of the day, that is where it will end. Forget about all this and share this rice accordingly so that it will get to the least in Bayelsa State.
Bayelsa State government are beg, the politicians are beg. Our mothers in the village, even in the town, there is no food, hunger everywhere. These rights where then they bring to our Bayelsa State. Politicians, leave it for the old people, leave it for the poor. You have money, go and bought it. Don't leave them, leave it for everyone. Look at the villages, people are suffering. Some have 10 children, they don't know what to do. The rights they bring to the poor people, but the politician, please, we are begging you, government, we are begging you, try to take this right to every local government, every community. We need this food. Even myself, the mother, I need that food.
However, Mr. Ibebi Tobin stated that the federal government's economy policy of distributing grains is not workable, as it will not solve the food challenge of the nation.
It's unfortunate that the government of the day, by that I mean the federal government, is repeating an economic policy that has not been working for the past 8 years. To me personally, sharing rice or sharing grains for the states is not a good economic policy, and it can never solve the food challenges we are facing today. It can never solve the hunger in the land.
Mr. Tobin further advised the government to think outside the box and take alternative options and make policies that will ease the suffering of the people.
So government should please think outside the box. Since for now we don't have any solution to the economic challenges we are facing. This 20 trillion load of rice that have come, let it be given to the people that really needed it. Let it not go to people that can afford enough of rice, beans, and other grains. Let it be given to the vulnerable persons that really needed this rice.
Narrow Attainable, NDTV News.
Following the approval of the federal government's 70,000 naira new minimum wage, many state governors have insisted on not being able to pay the new wage due to economic challenges. This has led to pressure being mounted on the National Assembly by the Governors Forum, leading to a conclusion by the Judiciary and Governors Forum to move the minimum wage from the exclusive list to the concurrent list to enable state governors set their own minimum wage. The bill, which is meant to be presented before the National Assembly on Tuesday, has sparked outrage among civil servants, with the Nigerian Labour Congress threatening to shut down the country. According to President of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Joe Ajero, there will be a nationwide shutdown for 1 month if the National Assembly and the Senate come up with any law that will not benefit Nigerian workers. And on the foreign scene, following President Joe Biden's withdrawal from the presidential race and subsequent endorsement of Vice President Kamala Harris to succeed him, Harris has said she is honored to receive Biden's endorsements and would give all it takes to aim and win the nomination. Reports say before President Biden announced the suspension of his re-election bid, Vice President Harris had multiple phone conversations with the president about the decision, noting that she also spent over 10 hours on Sunday placing calls to more than 100 party leaders, members of Congress, governors, labor leaders, and leaders of advocacy, as well as civil rights organizations. The report added that on each of those calls, Harris made it clear that she was extremely grateful for the president's endorsement, but will work hard to aid the Democratic nomination. Vice President Kamala Harris has served for 3.5 years now and has been on the front line in the campaigns. In a landmark achievement for the country's cinema, 2 Nigerian films have been selected to be showcased at the esteemed Zanzibar International Film Festival 2024, marking the station's return to the festival since 2016. For details of this and more on entertainment news, let's join Ibrahim Asanat.
In a remarkable feat, 2 Nigerian films, I Hate Love Stories and Only Money, have been selected for the 27th edition of the prestigious Zanzibar International Films Festival 2024 competition, set for 1st to 4th August and theme Rejuvenation. The annual festival is known for showcasing films from diverse regions, promoting cultural exchange and celebrating filmmaking. The duo films, directed by Ekene Somekwenye and produced by Fulfillment Fuchi Wantorocha, made it to the list, marking a significant milestone in the entertainment industry, as the last time a Nigerian film was featured at the festival was 2016. This year's festival will feature 25 films from around the world, highlighting the growing recognition of Nigerian cinema. Nigerian representative at the 2024 World Choir Games, Mountaintop Chorale, won 2 gold medals at the competition held in Auckland, New Zealand. The event from 10th to 20th of July featured over 11,000 singers from 30 countries, making it the largest choral competition worldwide. The choir's performances included the Ekiti Medley, composed by Dr. Olukayode and arranged by Seun Owache, and the same gold in Category 19 of Contemporary Music Mixed Voices and Category 22 of Spiritual Songs. This achievement qualifies the choir for future intercultural events, including the Champions Competition and World Choirs Champions Round for the next 5 years, showcasing Nigerians' talent on an international stage. The Niger Delta Television Newsroom has celebrated an outgoing member of the 2023 Batch B Stream 2 National Youth Service Corps, Ufoma Soje, for dedication and commitment service. Soje, who during her service was an on-air personnel, OAP, and a creative writer, showcased her skills in creating content and was key in the introduction of entertainment news segments on the NDTV News. Mrs. Ebiako Ojeke Azere, the head of department, presided over the event with well wishes, appreciation, and presentation of gifts to commemorate the celebration. The event was witnessed by Mrs. Joy Ifidioka, Assistant News Director, reporters, newscasters, and other staffs of the department as they wish her well in her future endeavor. Ibrahim Asanat reporting for NDTV Entertainment News.
The federal government has lauded the Bayelsa State Governor Senator Doye Diri for his efforts in sports development in the country. Ayemi Miene brings us to speed on these and other sports stories.
The federal government has expressed gratitude to Governor Doye Diri, the governor of Bayelsa State, for his contributions to the growth of sports in the country. The Minister of Sports Development, Senator John Eno, made this known at the finals of the 6th edition of the Bayelsa Governors Football Tournament, dubbed the Prosperity Cup, held at the Samson Siasia Sports Complex in Yenagoa on Saturday. In addition to supporting the Super Eagles of Nigeria, the sports minister stated that Governor Diri has continued to promote and fund the development of football and other sports in Bayelsa. Observing the championship matches between NDU Queens and Peremore Academy in the women's division and Ogboimbri of Southern Ijaw local government area and Nembe City of Nembe local government area in the men's division, Senator Eno observed that Governor Diri had become a constant figure in the Nigerian sport since taking office. The Federal Ministry of Sports Development is determined to reopen its zonal offices across the nation, he said, emphasizing that the grassroots is where sports will continue to thrive. This is in line with the Prosperity Cup motto, taking sports development to the grassroots. I have found one governor that has been a recurring decimal in Nigeria's sports sector since becoming Minister of Sports, he stated. Wherever I have gone, this governor keeps recurring. He continued to sponsor, encourage, and support Nigeria, especially during the AFCON competition. He is one of the governors who committed to the team and promptly fulfilled it. The Nigerian Wrestling Federation has the Commissioner for Sports in Bayelsa, Daniel Igali, as president. This governor has done more for that federation than anyone else. I'm supposed to leave for Germany tomorrow to be with our Olympic team, but I said I must be here and I am glad I came. With more than 200 teams signed up for the competition, Senator Eno said that other states ought to take note of the Prosperity Cup as a model. He said that with Diri as an ally, his ministry and the Nigerian Football Federation NFF might launch a national grassroots competition similar to this. In addition, he expressed gratitude to the governor for his outstanding support of the Wrestling Federation as Nigeria gets ready for the 2024 Olympics and hope that this support will result in medals for the nation. In the B17E championship match of the Gothia Cup, Sporting Lagos emerged victorious and became the first Nigerian club to take home a trophy from the competition. As soon as they took to the field, the Lagos-based team proved they were a formidable opponent. Their dominance paid off in the 9th minute when Yusuf Abdullahi scored past the defenseless FC Tokyo goalkeeper after taking advantage of a defense lapse. After just 10 minutes, Babatunde Akomolede's incredible goal gave them a twofold advantage. He gave the Japanese goalkeeper no chance as he fired a rocket into the top corner from outside the box. At the half, Sporting Lagos had a comfortable 2-0 lead. Sporting Lagos kept control of the game in the second half by continuing to generate attacking chances while maintaining a strong defensive line. Lucky John sealed the victory in the 55th minute by tapping the ball into the net after a rebound. Sporting Lagos did not stop there as they scored another goal to complete the score, winning convincingly 4-0 and taking home the B17E championship. I am Ayemi Miene for NDTV Sports.
And to end the news, a quick look at our top stories. The Bayelsa State Government has set up a 5-month conflict resolution committee to look into the lingering communal leadership crisis in the Masoma community in Southern Niger local government area of the state. We also brought to you a report that newly appointed Commissioner for Information, Orientation and Strategy, Honorable Mrs. Ibiawo Koko Obia, has charged journalists and media practitioners in Bayelsa to scale up the reports of government and other activities that will promote the state. And finally, the government has lauded the Bayelsa State Governor, Senator Doye Diri, for his efforts in sports development in the country. And that's our bulletin. Thanks for joining us. I'm Janet Bobayren.